It is Monday, and guess what we're doing? We're gonna go check out a new car, project car. It is a 2009 Subaru Impreza. It's silver. It's about a 20-minute drive from my house. So the person was available this morning, so I called her up and we're gonna go check it out. The Subaru has about 184,000 kilometers on it, not miles, kilometers. So that means that I suspect that the timing belt, water pump, and some of the pulleys will actually be due for replacement. And she said in the ad that the cat is blocked. So we'll see what that means. If ever the cat is blocked, what I would do is probably I would just do a cat delete on it, cut the cat, and weld a new piece of exhaust to that section. She also said in the ad that it has a misfire on one of the cylinders, which is the thing that concerns me the most. So what I did is I brought my compression tester to actually see and make sure that all the pistons do have, all the cylinders, the pistons do make compression, do make equal compression, or at the very least similar. If ever there's a misfire and the engine does have good compression, it's going to be good. It'll be very good, I'll be promising. But I also want to make sure that it's not rusted. As you guys know, we're in Canada. We get rough winters and they put salt, a lot of salt on the streets. So that ruins the cars, to be honest. It just eats them up. So I want to make sure that there is no rust. Rust is quite hard to repair. We're not equipped to do a lot of body work as it is right now, and we are in no way from being experts at it. So maybe in the future we will get equipped for it, and we'll try to do a little bit of a few projects here and there. But I definitely don't want to get into body work with this car. So I'm hoping that we'll show up, the car runs rough, but it does have compression, and that there's no rust. The rust is the key thing. Well, compression and rust is the key thing. The rest of it, I don't necessarily care. If ever the alignment is loose, if ever there's some bushing bearings that need to be changed, we can probably easily do that, unless they all have to be changed. We're not going to spend thousands of dollars on fixing it. But anyways, it's stick to, so you know, it's not automatic, so it could be a fun car for the winter. We'll see what comes out of it. So I'll keep you guys posted in a few minutes. I am back. So I just finished a visit of the 09 Subaru Impreza, and quite impressive, I'll say. It is an 09. There is a bit of rust, which I was kind of afraid of, as I was saying earlier, but it's not too bad. Like the rust, there is some rust around the window, so I hope it didn't get through the seals too much. So we'll have to take a look at some of that, maybe sand it down, prime it or something like that, just to make sure it doesn't necessarily spread throughout the winter. There's some summer tires on it, on Subaru rims that were painted black, kind of charcoal. The tires still seem to be in a decent condition, but as of next month, legally here in Canada, on the Quebec side, I do require to put some winter tires on if I wanna drive it. So I'll have to take a look for some used winter tires or see if I have some at home that would actually fit. But to get into the mechanical side of the car, so when I got there, I plugged in the Bluetooth scanner just to see the check engine, and so the check engine showed that the catalytic converter, something was wrong with the catalytic converter. So as expected, whenever the cat is full of either way dust and like gum from the engine, it could clog up, and it does cause some performance issues of the engine because the airflow doesn't flow out properly. So it's kind of putting restriction on the engine, making it run kind of rough. So that was the only check engine. Then the girl was talking about some misfires, but there were no misfire codes on the car. So just asked her like where she got that information, and she was saying that some of her friends that are mechanics, they said that it was probably caused by a misfire. The car is not necessarily running as good as it should be. So we gave it a test drive, and it is true that the car wasn't necessarily performing. The acceleration wasn't that great, but overall, like it was riding smoothly. The clutch was running fine. Transmission, there was no noise from the rear diff, anything like that. So that was good, but there was definitely no torque. There was no power. So as soon as I came back, what I did is I wanted to do a compression test just to make sure that it's not a blown engine or something like that. So what I'll say first of all is, wow, Subaru, making these spark plug holes so difficult to access. Holy crap. On one side, you have to remove the battery in order to access the spark plugs. On the other side, you have to remove the entire air intake. Pain in the ass. It took probably, I would say, maybe half an hour to 45 minutes to do a compression check on all 4 spark plugs. So I did that, and I was quite surprised by seeing that all of the 4 pistons were showing 120 of PSI. So it's not as high as my Honda H22 that's doing like 190, but at the same time, they are not high compression engines. So as long as they are, you know, plus or minus 10% difference, but this was spot on, 120 PSI on each cylinder. So very promising. What I didn't say is that when I started looking into it and I unplugged the spark plugs on one side, then I went on the other side and I noticed that one of these spark plug wires was actually loose in the hole. Like it wasn't, you know, it was in the hole, but it wasn't clipped on the head of the spark plug. So at that point I was doing the compression test and everything like that, which turned out to be fine. And I didn't go back and test drive it after plugging in the spark plug, but if you do 1 + 1, that will cause performance issues. So anyways, all that being said, we got a Subaru. I bought it. Bring it home, clean it up, change the spark plug, change the filters, change the oil, do all of those basic maintenances, and see what comes out of it. There might be a lot of work that will need to be done. I believe that there's a bushing on the driver hand side that will need to be changed, so I'll be doing some videos about that with Mark later on. I just talked to Mark over the phone as well, and he did his 09 Legacy's timing belt, as you guys can see in the previous video. So we'll be doing the timing belt on this car as well, on the Impreza, because it has 184,000 kilometers. It is definitely due, that's for a fact. But I suspect that it's due because she didn't do it and she doesn't have a receipt from the previous owner. So you know what? We're not going to risk it. We'll buy a kit online, we'll order it, and we'll do the timing belt, the water pump, and some of the pulleys for, I believe Mark was saying it was like around $200 Canadian to get that done. So we'll give that a shot. Yeah, see how it runs. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go back home, go grab the car, give the cash, and I will show you guys what the car looks like. Running out of, here's the Subaru. This is what we got. So we paid 850 Canadian dollars for this guy. It has some rust on the back trunk, but I can probably replace that entire piece for cheap. The rest of it seems quite fine. Brakes are good, everything is good. like I was saying, the girl was selling it because she was saying something about a misfire, something not working properly. So I took the time to actually clean the engine. First of all, yeah, this is 850 Canadian dollars, guys. So I spent the time to clean the engine, and I noticed a few things. Loose spark plugs, first of all, definitely causes issues. That's not normal. That's not how it should be. Second of all, I pulled the air filter out because, you know, like when you don't get air in an engine, you get no torque, you get no performance. So this looks quite clean, extremely clean, right? Well, let's turn it around. There is no air whatsoever that would ever go through this. What a mess. So this is not helping. I removed it. Next step, spark plug are going to get changed, the oil is going to get changed, the timing belt's going to get changed, battery is on the charger because it hasn't run for quite some time, the brakes look fine, and I just finished cleaning the inside of the car. So I will show you guys what it looks like. Give me a quick second. I locked myself out. Good job. So this is the back of the car. I just finished cleaning it, super clean. Let's take a look here. So this is it. This is what we got. So 2009 Impreza with the 2.5 liter. Yeah, so just finished cleaning it up. So as you can see, it is in a mint condition. Has 184,000 kilometers. I just paid $850 for this car, and I went to the license bureau to get a plate for it. And the girl tells me, sir, you know that this car is still has an evaluation on it, meaning that you're gonna have to pay taxes off of the actual price. So not off of the price, that the $850 that I paid, but the actual price that the car is worth. And the province decided, based on, I guess, market, that this car is still worth $6,100, meaning that I paid $608. So it's worth $6,100. I paid $608 in taxes. $608 of taxes on a car that I paid $850. So if you're looking at the budget, we're at about $1,700 into this car already. And we're not even done. So we're going to be spending more cash into it. We're going to be fixing it up. We're going to be making sure that it runs properly. We'll take it for a spin a bit later on to see if there's any noises or anything that I can hear. But so far, to be honest, I did a 40-kilometer ride with it coming back home. The engine was shutting off on its own, but then when I checked, it seems like the throttle body was like gummed. It was just horribly gummed. So I put some seafoam in there, just shut it off, see if the seafoam's gonna clean it up, but it was dirty, like it was black, guys. So seafoam, throttle body, spark plugs, air intake, and then there was a check engine for the cat. Maybe the cat is actually clogged up, so we're gonna have to take a look at that a day that it's not raining. But this is it. This is the next project car. So yeah, I'll be shooting more videos later on. Hope you liked it. Thumbs up.